Hey everyone, and welcome back. Okay, in this tutorial we're going to do challenges 3 and 4, but in order for us to do that, I want to introduce you to the additional assignment operator denoted by the plus equal sign, okay? So what is it? Well, let's say we have a number and we assign the number variable a value of 5, right? If I say let number equal 5. If I asked you to add 5 to it, what would you do? Well, what you could do is you could say number plus 5 and then assign that the value of number. So we could say number is equal to itself, i.e. 5 plus 5. Okay? So if I was to just log out to the console the value of number, so it should have a value of 5. If I log that out, if I can spell, keyboard isn't liking me today. So I've declared a variable called number, I've assigned it the value of 5, and all I've done is I have logged out to the console the string 5 and then the number variable. So what we should see is the string 5 and the number 5. So let's just have a look here. And we get 5, right? Now, if we were then to log out the value of number here, what do you think the answer is going to be? Well, number has a value of 5, and now what we've done is we've assigned it the value of itself plus 5. So number is equal to itself, number with a value of 5 plus 5. So we know 5 plus 5 is equal to 10. And now if I log out the value down here, what we should see is the number 10. So that's just the string 10 I'm logging out, and then we should see the number 10. So what we should see is 10 string and then 10. I'm just doing the string just so you can see where we are, but really it's 5 and 10. 5 the first time, 10 the second time. Right, let me just delete that and just make it a bit more concise. So really what I'm showing you is that we can keep adding 5 by just declaring the variable itself. Well, we've already declared the variable. I mean, typing out the variable keyword. Sorry, typing out the name of the variable. Dara, get more coffee. So number is equal to number itself plus 5, and then that would give you a value of 15. But there's actually another way of doing this. And all you need to do is, instead of saying number is equal to number plus 5, you can just say number plus equal 5, and that'll work for you. That's the same thing as typing out the variable name and adding a number to it. So let me show that to you, right? So what we just did was we said let number equal 5. If we want to add 5 to it, what we were doing is we were then saying number is equal to number plus 5. But we don't need to do that. What we can do is, let me just comment this out and prove to you this still works, is we can actually say number plus equal 5. That is shorthand notation. That is a shorter way of essentially adding 5 to the number variable. So that will have a value of 10. And to prove that to you, if I just log out now the value of number, we should actually see 10 in the console. If I save and refresh, we see we get 10, okay? So guys, that is shorthand notation. This is the assignment operator, that if you want to add a value to a number, you don't need to say, let number equal 5 and then number is equal to number plus 5. You can just say number plus equal 5. You could do plus equal 10 if you wanted to add 10 to it. So the reason I'm showing you this is now going to come in handy when we are doing this challenge here, which we're going to do right now. Previously I showed you the syntax for the for loop. We know that we create the for loop, we have some sort of counter variable, some condition, while that evaluates to true the loop runs, and we also have our increment operator. We saw the increment operator, the plus plus, but that only adds 1 to our counter variable after each loop iteration. Now what we can do is we can start our counter variable at 5, but then use plus equal 5 to add 5 after each loop iteration, okay, rather than just adding 1. And that could be very useful, for example, if we were making a game and if the user did something we want to add 5 to the score. So let's now create a for loop that logs out numbers 5 to 30. What we can do is we can say for, we'll say let I equal 5. We're starting our counter at 5. And we want to run the loop while I is less than or equal to 30, while that condition is true. And instead of using I++, what we can do is we can just say I plus equal 5, plus equal 5. Okay, and that's going to work for us. And to prove that to you, if I just log out the value of I, what are we going to get? Well, the first time the loop runs, we should get 5. We do our condition. Is 5 less than or equal to 30? It is. That evaluates to true. Then what we do is we add 5 to our I counter variable. So then we log out 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Just to prove that to you, if I save and refresh, we get 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, and 30. Okay, so that's challenge 3. That's how we can use the additional assignment operator to count from 5 to 30. But doing it as in 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. We're going up in intervals of 5 rather than just going up in intervals of 1. Now that we've learned about the additional assignment operator, okay, we know that we could also use that, therefore, to log out all the numbers, all the even numbers from 2 to 10. So you could do some sort of if statement with a for loop, but because I've showed you this additional assignment operator notation, let's just do that very quickly and then we'll end this tutorial. So we can say for let I equal 2, okay? We want our loop to run while some condition is true. We want to run while I is less than or equal to 100. And after each loop iteration, we don't want to use I++. That would only increment I, our counter variable, by 1. We can use I plus equals 2, okay? So we are once again using the additional assignment operator. And remember, plus equal 2 is the same thing as saying I is equal to I plus 2. It's just shorthand notation. And now if we just log out to the console the value of I, we're going to log out numbers 2 all the way up to 100. By save and refresh, we get 2 all the way up to 100. Okay? Because what we did was we declared I, we declared and initialized our counter variable I with a value of 2. We're running our loop while this condition evaluates to true, while I, our counter variable, is less than or equal to 100. We're going to enter the for loop, write out some code, and after each loop iteration, we're just going to add 2 to the counter variable. Okay? So guys, congratulations. We've now completed the 4 challenges for the for loop. I hope you enjoyed it. I'll see you in the next one.